Alright, welcome to the next episode, everybody. I'm a I'm in a good mood tonight. Everything's good. I'm a little giggly. I'm in a straightforward but happy, positive mood. Let's do this. Let's find out who killed this poor guy. Let's do this. 10 smart picks. What the hell is that?
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat
I don't want to
depleted.
subscribe to this, so I don't want to spend $30 to...
Oh, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be
Actually, I don't
everywhere
even
at
want to
once.
look at this. Fuck it. Closing it.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week.
That sounds like a
He
boss.
was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
What?
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Oh.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. You can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Give me a second. I'm waiting for the lagging thing to go away here. It's probably gonna. The audio is probably gonna. The whole fucking thing's probably gonna cut out in a second. Nope. Okay, we're good. Moving on.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him,
That's not
asking
cool.
him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That's fucked
That must
up.
have been terribly humiliating.
Yes,
do
he
that.
was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert.
You
That
know.
is,
Come
except
on.
for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
You shouldn't do that shit to people when they're making speeches. I mean, look, when I was in high school, there was always a guy making a speech, and there was always some douchebag in the back who was, like, flipping him the bird or going boo, and there was, like, a beach ball started getting tossed around. I wasn't in one of those inner city schools, but since it is Baltimore, I'm sure nowadays there's riots and cops are probably shooting people. But look, the point is here, during a speech, you need, even if you don't like the fucking guy, you need to, like, just shut up and, let him walk away from the podium, let him do his speech and walk away from the... It's bad enough people getting up in front of everybody and doing a speech or doing a book report or whatever. I never used to get up in front of people and do speeches, but I imagine if I did, I would want people to have the common fucking courtesy to just let it happen. And the Band-Aid will be ripped off at some point. Just let it happen. So when people are giving speeches, just fucking sit there. They got cell phones now. You all have cell phones now. They just text. Play Angry Birds, or whatever while you're doing it. Instagram shit. Instagram it. Advertising, whatever. Let the guy speak. Or the woman speak, whoever it is. Fuck's sake.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
What, he had game?
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Well, there's larger than something called insectivorous. That, you know, should I be worried?
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
You guys want to hear a joke? Check out my Joke of the Week series. Hashtag shameless self-promotion. No, but really, everybody, I'm in a chipper mood tonight, despite the tequila. I think tequila is actually like a good, you know, as far as drinking goes, I think that's like or it might be the orange juice that was in the tequila sunrise. The citrus might have something to do with it. You know, I'm not going to be giggly. I had some audio issues earlier, so I'm not exactly in a chipper mood like I was before. But, hey, the giggling is to a minimum, so everything's fine. I think I got over the hiccups, too, so let's move on.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the
Studies.
greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
How very specific.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Damn straight. You do that, you.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, he only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all,
nobody understand what the fuck nepotism is. Come on, give him the job.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. That my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Oh, that was a short answer.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
In other
Thank you,
words,
young man.
I feel
We
a
shall see you
lockpick
again soon.
minigame coming up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, fuck that. Move. Luckily, I found out there's a checkpoint system, so that's cool. I had to just do some shit over again, but that's okay. I tell you, this particular case has given me a lot of trouble apparently. First the wine, the weed / drunken thing that I decided, well, I'm gonna eventually post it anyway for giggles. It's a behind the scenes kind of a deal, but that wasn't really a legit episode.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
Why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Hey, from 1888 standards, you can get, $10 per gold that you collect. I think you can find all the gold by checking out my gun video walkthrough with Foo Fighter 18. Hashtag self-promotion. Hey, what's this here?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Probably
The
swilled
bottle
it.
is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. But we need a good nose.
Oh, shit. I think this nose is about to sneeze. Yep, I called it. Oh, fuck. I'm just gonna assume someone said God bless you. Thank you.
A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert.
Oh, God damn it. It's not hiccups, it's sneezes. What the fuck? I don't know how this showed up on audio, so I'm just gonna mute my controller before I did it. Nope. Okay, it's passing on. I hate that.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes. A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Yeah, I could have used one of these about 20 minutes ago.
I don't hear anything.
I didn't load the fucker yet. That's why. Give me a second. There we go.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report. Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Like perhaps bringing somebody back from the dead. That's a Frankenstein reference. I don't mean like zombies. For fuck's sake, people. Just, The show will come back in October. For now, let's just focus on something other than
Such
zombies.
masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow
Where's the
dangerous
condoms?
plants here?
Don't you need rubbers? For that matter, that Albert guy, when he went around to, study, quote-unquote, with Miss White. Look, kids, go ahead and study all you want, but for God's sake, wear a rubber, okay? Be careful. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, Muslim, Christian. I don't think Muslims have sex, but hey, whatever you are, just fucking put a rubber on. Alright, there's too many STDs and around in the world. Just, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Twitch. Yeah, you're gonna lag on me. Now that I'm giving good advice. Right. I'm sure there's some sweaty, fat fucking asshole somewhere right now listening to this, jerking off to my voice, thinking, okay, let's do the lag switch. You sucker. Anyway, seriously though. Wear rubber. You don't have to wear one of these. But wear, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving on.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
And it's a really good thing I decided to go eat a Hot Pocket, because while I was gone, Comcast must have heard me and decided to reset my modem in the middle of the fucking night like they usually do. Thinking, oh hey, he's fast asleep like normal people, it won't be a big deal. Well, it would have been a big deal if I hadn't gone to eat a Hot Pocket. I swear to God, the whole world seems to be conspiring against me playing this tonight. What with the audio problems from earlier, and just, you know, everything. But I'm gonna keep pushing through it for everybody who's not watching it right now.
Open.
Sesame. Chicken.
Albert's locker.
Actually, unfortunately, it wasn't sesame chicken. It was a Hot Pocket, but just as good.
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Doone, has expressed his intention to entrust to you the dictatorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. And it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, Junior Administrator, Lemon Director of the Royal Navy Training Organization. Nailed it.
Martin Hamish's locker. Martin Hamish studied...
He killed him. Chemists are always killers. It's truth. Hang on, before I read it, what's the... Okay. Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens oblige me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Doone was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now, the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision out of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead, and free my mind from his uncertainty. This uncertainty. Fuck it, moving on. Let's go.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces. Miss White's locker. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Dear Mother and Father, I am writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to follow her studies due to lack of money? Margaret. That was probably incredibly harsh, but yeah, it's the truth. Deal with it.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Now, of course, not all college girls are like that. Some of them actually bust their ass to make their own money. But no, the really, posh ones, they're like, oh, mommy, daddy. And then they get their money, It's the way it is. Margaret, we were surprised... This is supposed to be her mother now. Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that have passed since you left, and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you chose to do so now. We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same quote-unquote high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done. This is actually good advice. And none of us ever compromise their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Doone. Now, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Your parents... P.S. This is your mother speaking, even though I put it down as your parents, just in case you're angry at one of us, you can be angry at both of us. P.P.S. I taught you better to suck better dick. Why aren't you making money from doing that? You're in your 20s, you should be fond doing that. P.P.P.S. Remember, more tongue, less teeth. That's what a mother would say. I'm not being a perv or nothing. That's what they would. That's fucking accurate.